We know YouTube be messing up my channel, y'all. Let me know if they are notifying y'all when I go live, because you never know. You never know. What up, everybody on YouTubes? Out there in the U's, in the tubes. What's popping with the people? Ain't seen y'all in a minute, man. I miss y'all, man. I miss y'all. What's up? What's going on? Who was that? Robin Mason, Zod the Goat. What was that? Cynthia. I think that's what it was. Penny Sweet. KX. Righteous. Frank Green. What up, y'all? Goddess blessings. Everybody come on up in here. What's popping? Who is that? Segment. Nazarene X. Brian Jones. What's going on, y'all? Yeah, it's been some bullshit going on, y'all, since I talked to y'all last. Some absolute bull. Woo. It was a whole lot of stuff going on. I was gonna talk to y'all last week, but had a little problem with my contact lenses. I couldn't see anything. This week though, there's some stuff that we gotta go through from last week that we didn't cover. So what's popping, y'all? Hey, before we get started, I want to say everybody who if you ordered your package is out in the mail, so it should be there within the next few days. So if you don't, please don't hit me up saying where my package. Your package, everybody who ordered something is in the mail. Appreciate y'all, appreciate you, but don't hit me up. It's in the mail. And as you know, I like to promote stuff that I get down with. So we just gonna say what's up to the Schmuckatelli right here. What up, Gwendolyn? We gonna say what up to the Schmuckatelli right here. Y'all know this is Beal sauce. Everybody, y'all should be on it by now. I know y'all been hitting it up. They got 3 of them. This is the mild one. You know, I like them. I like hot, but the mild one is off the chain. It just takes it to another level for me. So right here, Schmuckatelli, y'all go to bealsauce.com, BEALE sauce.com, and hook up the Beal sauce. You get the Gunny Fire or the Sergeant sauce. Those are the 2 hotter ones. But this right here, boy, I be going through about a case a week. I don't even lie to you, damn near. It's a sandwich. It's a Cuban sandwich I get. I kind of tried to deviate from my turkey. I was doing my turkey, found a Cuban sandwich. Boy, this damn man, if they need to find Bill and add this to their damn sandwich, because this go perfect with their sandwich. But hit up Bill sauce for the Schmuckatelli, y'all. And as y'all know, y'all hit up Timmy Tight Top last time I did this. Weed juice. He makes the best juices in the game right here. This is the surprisingly sweet. I told y'all about this last time. This is the grapefruit, cantaloupe, and pear off the chain that he made as an experiment. So I loved it. So he just put it into production. So you're welcome. You're welcome right here. So go to weedjuice.com. That's OUI juice.com and hook up. He got the detoxes. He got everything that you need at weedjuice.com. So shout out to Timmy Tight Top, who couldn't say capitalize the other day. We live in a capitalist society. If you don't know, go watch the So What show from Monday. That was hilarious. But so yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. If y'all didn't see the hearing yesterday, y'all need to go back and watch it. They tried not to release too much in the hearing. There was a hearing, a government hearing. They showed live on YouTube. I don't know if y'all saw it. It was live on YouTube about the UFOs. We're going to talk about that in a minute, though. First thing I want to talk about, what up, Tish, if you're in here? First thing I want to talk about was there was a study that came out about, how do we say, the P.F. Hyzer Bakery, about the P.F. Hyzer Bakery. I talked about it last week on the So What show, where they basically said there was a study that came out, and because they had to keep releasing, they have to release these papers now that the courts said that they don't have 75 years to release the information on what was going on with the test and all, you know, what was in the cupcakes, right? So when this came out, it said that the second helping of the PF hyzer, oh, who was that? Blank Mystery. Oh, appreciate you. Thank you so much. Man, so it says the second helping of the PF hyzer cupcake. So you get one helping, you may give you a little tummy. The second helping of the cupcake increases your risk of you know, increases your risk of myo heart joint, your heart, you know, getting jiggy with it off the chain. It increases that risk by 75%. The PF hyzer cupcake increases you having you know, a little something going on with your ticker by 75%. The second helping, if you take a second helping of the cupcake, 75%. The Moderneasy cupcake increases it by, get this is crazy, 557%. 557%. The second helping of the Moderneasy cupcake increases your risk of heart backflips. we want to say your heart busting windmills, breakdancing. It increases that by 557%. That's insane. The second helping. So, y'all didn't hear nothing about that, did you? All you hear is about it. Ukraine. Or you hearing all these people getting shot up. That's all you see. You Amber Heard and what's your boy Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. I mean, all kind of bullshit, right? You don't hear nothing about this though. And they're not going to tell you why, because those news programs are sponsored by the PF hyzer Bakery. Just wait till the commercial comes on. Go watch one of them programs, wait till the commercial comes on. Sponsored by the PF hyzer Bakery. So, and then the other thing that came out was the average age of actual people who kicked the bucket from the Boogie V. The actual age was higher than the actual age of death itself, just in the world. It was 82. Did y'all know that? 82 years old. So they going around telling you that, oh, all these people kicked the bucket from the Boogie V. Oh my God, it's oh my God, it's so crazy. It's the most crazy thing we ever seen. And you know, they don't tell you that most of the people who kicked the bucket from it was an average age of 82. Them niggas was, hey, nigga, if you around 82, nigga, you right on the line right there, buddy. You supposed to be out of here. Again, the average age of death in the world is things like 75 or something like that, 75, 78. So them people was making it past the average age. So, but they don't tell you that because they need the propaganda of niggas that in your head. They need you to think in your head all these people just drop dead in the street. And a bunch of young people and vibrant living their lives just and they just killed over in the fucking street. And so you, oh my God, and you run in the house 6 feet, and you doing all this and that shit, and it's literally Betty White. Betty White is like the Golden Girls was the average age of the people dying from that shit. So I just wanted y'all to see that and just make sure you keep understanding and putting this information into your head, because you want to keep unraveling the bullshit that they keep throwing out at you. This is actual information, again, that you can use when they come down the line again to try to implement these They don't think they're not going to try to implement lockdowns again on some super fear shit. That's why you see your boy Kill Bill doing with his new book that he came out with, explaining that they need a new, I told you, it was the global immunization response. Wait, hold on. Let me see what that shit is again. Hold on. It is, let me see if I can remember it. It is the Global Epidemic Response and Mobilization Team. Right? Initiative, right? So again, the Global Epidemic Response and Mobilization Team. So he called it GERM for short. That's the name. That's the nickname of it. GERM. Your boy Kill Bill. His that's the Pandesy cops. Remember I talked about this last time. The Pandesy cops are called GERM. Ain't that some shit? Yo, Mahari John, appreciate you, man. That y'all, they ain't even trying to hide this shit. The Pandesy cops are called GERM, right? So, hold on. So, and then the next thing that's coming down, when they do that, as he's doing that, he's pushing the Pandesy cops. I told you about last week about the WHO, you know, do the letters. The WHO, they're implementing a Pandesy Treaty for all these countries. Now, y'all heard about this. They're getting ready to sign this on the 22nd. What's the day? What, the 18th or the 19th? So they're getting ready to sign this shit in a couple days. Y'all better get with it. So what this does is takes away the sovereignty of all the countries that are signed to the treaty, and it takes away the sovereignty in the event of a Pandesy, right? So we've only had one of these, and it really wasn't that. This is what they called this thing a Pandesy, which we really know it wasn't. But again, they get to use this now to implement Pandesy policies all the way down the line. From private organizations like the WHO, them niggas they're not accountable to any government. They're a private organization who gets most of its money from two major people, United States of America and Kill Bill. That's who the WHO gets most of his money from. So they're getting ready to come with the Pandesy Treaty, right? So look at the powers. These are the powers that the Pandesy Treaty gives the WHO. So let's run it down. It lets them decide what constitutes a Pandesy. Oh, who was that? Dark. I think that's what it said, man. Thank you, appreciate you. I couldn't see the name all the way before it flashed out. But it lets them decide what constitutes a Pandesy. The definition has already changed to include the flu. So y'all get that? It lets them decide what the definition of a Pandesy is. And then they've already changed the definition to include the flu. So if there's a bad case of the coughs, you just get you know what I'm saying? You just get regular flu sick. Oh my God, it's a pandemic. Lock it down, shut it down. Lock it down, let it. That's what it gives them the power to do. Also, it gives them the power to name the disease and what quarantine measures are needed on the global scale. So they get to name it something weird and scary, to put the fear of God in your ass. You know what I'm saying? They call it the Sasquatch V or some shit like that, nigga. The Freddy Krueger V. And your ass, ah! And so it gives them the power to name it. And create quarantine measures on a global scale, meaning your government has no say-so in how you are locked down from this point on. Have no say-so. If you have a constitution, none of that shit works. Because this is a state of emergency. Remember, these things go into effect in a state of emergency. So Pandesy, state of emergency, includes the flu. So these niggas at this point now can, at any point in time, just claim what a Pandesy is and shut it down. If and when they sign this thing on the 22nd. Y'all better get up on what's popping, man. They're literally about to sign your rights away to the WHO, a private damn corporation. If you know about contracts and court and all that stuff, that's a different game. That's a whole but if you don't know and you're still contracted with these governments, these corporate governments, then you have to abide by their policies. So then It also gives them the number to, excuse me, gives them the power to have control over over who develops treatments and whatever's safe. So basically, they get to say who creates the treatments for it. You know, remedies, basically cupcakes. They get to say who creates that, and they get to decide if they're safe or not. Not only cupcakes, but they can decide if you want to just do, if you want to treat it with herbs or just vitamins. They get to decide if that's safe or not for whatever they deem as the Pandesy. This is this is some real shit. It also gives them power to determine who gets quarantine lockdowns around the world. Basically, so I said basically broke that down. Also control over the mandates to implement in what country. So they get to implement mandates in different countries. So whatever they say, so if they get to say, yo, you know, America, sorry. You guys have to get the Hokey, you got to get the cupcake before you're able to do anything. And then the government, our government, gets to say, it's not us. It's not coming from us. It's coming from the WHO. And so they get to show some hands-off shit, because remember, the government can't implement this type of policy on Americans because you have too much power from the Constitution. However, if they sign over that power to a private corporation, this is how they're getting around your rights, y'all. Corporate contracting. Corporations. This is why your corporate knowledge has to come up. All of y'all should be corporations already. Honestly. All of y'all should have some type of LLC, your name, or some type of corporation from your name. You should be, you know, Aloysius Jenkins Incorporated or LLC. Seriously. Because this is the new game that's coming up. But this is how they subvert your rights. So through these corporations. So the WHO is a private corporation that when they sign this, what they call a treaty, is a contract. When they sign this new contract, and remember, the United States of America is also a what? Corporation. So you got two corporations signing contracts, or multiple corporations. Everybody who's in with the WHO. Oh man, Bismail, appreciate you. So everybody who's in with the WHO are signing the contracts. They're putting their line, they're signing on the dotted line, right? So this allows them to, like I said, to subvert your rights. Now you have rights. Your Constitution is in full effect. It's right there. Ain't nobody done nothing with it. However, if they get you to look over here and contract instead of using your actual rights that you have, then that's on you for not knowing. So again, United States of America, Inc. is a Delaware corporation. File number 219-3946. Go look it up. It's also another corporation. There are two different corporations. The United States of America, Inc., another Delaware corporation. So these corporations can contract. Just so you guys know, they can contract with whomever they please. Who was that? SP Love. Thank you, man. Thank you. They can contract with whoever they want. So this Pandesy Treaty, which is a contract, they're literally signing away over your rights. And you guys have no say-so unless you adjust your contracts with the main corporation signing the contract, meaning United States of America, Inc. You personally have to adjust your status contracts with this corporation in order for you not to be bound by the overall contract that they're signing. Because ultimately, if you're still linked up with that with the United States of America, Inc., you're a subsidiary corporation. That's just how it is. Sorry, who was that? Jerome Goff, thank you. And everybody who hit in that super chat, appreciate y'all. Appreciate that love. So this is what I'm trying to bring to you guys. You guys have to, you can't sit back and have the luxury of not knowing law and government and all this shit no more. As you see, they're doing a full court press right now. It is so much shit going on in the world. I mean, and this is over here, boom, this is happening. Shootings, boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's everything, the war here, but it is going crazy right now. But why is that? Because they're trying to implement this one world government, which is globalization, and they need you distracted on 50 million planes so they can do what they need to do, because they understand information is getting out way faster now, way easier. As soon as they do something, boom, that shit is on fucking Telegram or you know what I'm saying, or any of the other platforms that that haven't been taken over by, you know, by the government, that shit is getting out quick. So, you know, this is what they're doing. Also, when they implement this new Pandesy, in the WHO, like I said, the WHO is a private, supposedly private corporation, but the two main people who contribute to it, which are United States of America and Kill Bill Foundation. So those are the people who ultimately have control over it. So the people who basically run America are basically the people who are in control of the WHO. And who is in control when shit goes down in America as far as the Pandesy, right? Your boy, who? We know. Sorry guys, sorry, we have, we need to wear our mask. It's not over. We were supposed to be out, but we're not completely out because I said we were out, but I didn't know that they didn't want me to say that, so I had to come back and adjust what I said. So we're not completely out until they tell me that I can say that we're out. So, your boy Fauci, right? So check this out. There's a story that came out. This advocate group, they basically go and look up government, and they go and they police the government on where the government is spending their money. So they do this by filing Freedom of Information request and shit like that. Freedom of Information Act request. So they filed like 47,000 FOIA requests on the Pandesy and the NIH, which is your boy Fauci's organization, right? Fauci's organization. So what they found was, holy shit, this shit is crazy. What they found was that your boy Fauci, the organization, let me say the NIH, it basically last year alone, it gave $30 billion. That's right, $1 billion in grants. $30 billion in grants, excuse me, to 56,000 recipients, right? So anybody who's trying to supposedly find a cure for cancer or, or whatever it may be, they can go to the NIH for research grants. They can do that. Now, how do they grant the money? They grant them the money based on, you have to basically now, when I give you this money, now we become a partner in the research, right? So United States of America supposedly becomes the partner in the research. So if you go and look now at the patent for the Moderneasy cupcake, it'll say Moderneasy and United States of America cupcake. It's on there now because after the FDA approved it, then the United States of America was able to put their name on it. And they said, oh, now it's Moderna and me. It's Moderna and us. Now, but when they say United States of America, who the hell they talking about? Who's the main cat who deal with the cupcakes in America and Pandesys and all that? Who we were just talking about? Your boy Fauci, right? So he gets to put his name basically on most of these things that these research grants, when he funds these research, whatever it is, he gets to place their name, the United States of America, on it, but really him, because sometimes they use things that he already has patents on. So he gets to put his name on the patent, which in turn gives this nigga and about 900 other scientists at the NIH, they get royalties off of the money so basically it's this. It's a revolving door. I'm gonna give you 30 bit. I'm gonna give you 30 Bs, right? Give you 30 B stacks. You figure it out. Whatever this is, whatever invention you make, it's a drug or it's a cupcake or whatever the hell it is. You stamp our name on it, and then when you start making money from it, you give me my money back, nigga. You kick that money back up this way. So they found that like $350 million in royalties was going back to the NIH and they scientists. Guess who was getting about, when they looked up, this is crazy. So when they looked up the paperwork, they would only allow them to get paperwork. So they basically say, we're going to release this slowly to you. So we're going to give it to you in parts. So when they wanted to look up and see where the money was getting spent, they said, all right, we're going to give this to you in parts. So we're going to give you the first half is from 2009 to 2014, right? This is all we're going to give you. And then, because they got 3,000 pages of royalties. They got 3,000 pages of royalties that the NIH is getting back from money they done kicked out from different research projects they didn't put out there, which is mostly who? Your boy Fauci. So they said, all right, we're going to do half of them. We're going to do 1,200 pages at first. You get to look at the first 1,200 pages from 2009 to 2014. In that time, this boy Fauci got allegedly, but it's in there. It's actually real facts, but I gotta say allegedly. So allegedly, he got 23 different royalties. I mean, he got 23 different projects this nigga got out there where he getting royalties from. 23 in the first. That's just from 2009 to 2014. The next is gonna be from 2015. Excuse me. The next one is gonna be from 2015 to 2001. That's the next set of papers that they supposed to be released. We don't know how many. We don't know how many they got. Now, in the papers they released, most of that shit is redacted. It's all blacked out. The only thing that they would show was that the organization got money. They got an aggregate amount of money and how much money they gave out in grants and shit like that. So that's all it would show. When it came to who gave the royalties, and how much, that shit was blacked out. Nigga, hey, we can't tell you that. Hey, nigga, hey, sorry, nigga. So this lets you know sometimes this is all with the bullshit. This is Freedom of Information Act, but them niggas can black out whatever they want for the most part. They had to release something. So whatever the shit that they did release showed that they're getting all these royalties from the cupcakes that they are investing in, right? So this is why you see we constantly because they got money invested in this shit. Your boy, specifically, Mr. Pandesy. So this is the fuckery that he didn't want nobody to know about. That y'all have to understand that's going on. 30,056,000 recipients and 900 NIH scientists are getting kicked back money, most of which is your boy Fauci. Then, while most of this stuff is being released and going on, what you don't hear is, or what goes on at this point is, people are getting capped. We got Buffalo, and we got California, and a couple of other places. People all happen around at the same time, right around this blood moon, right? So if y'all don't know, these cats be doing ritual sacrifices and shit, especially on like blood moons and mostly when celestial events happen, they'll do some type of rituals. But blood moons are very good for sacrifices for the ritual society. So you got this buffalo shooting, right? And so all this this happened. Everybody say he got he had nigger, here's your reparations on his gun, which is why would he have that on there? Nigga's 18. What do you know about reparations? But apparently this nigga got radicalized online when in the Pandesy while he was just sitting at home. Apparently he was just supposedly going through the internet and he got radicalized online. And then he said he had a manifesto that he put out, but most of his manifesto was copied from some other white supremacists, right? So as this is going on, he's talking about replacement theory that the Caucasians have. Hold on. So Caucasians have something called replacement theory, where they believe, and this is mostly what they say on the right, that the Caucasian male mostly is being replaced by immigrants and the underclass or the lower class, because they're trying to move America into this globalization. So in order to do that, they have to allow more of a melting pot, this giant melting pot to happen. And then if you have more and more people who are not rooted in American nationalism and more rooted in let's link everybody up with the world. Oh, well, we on lock. Appreciate you. If you have everybody more in step with this we are the world shit, this we are the world bullshit, which is again, you are a part of everybody that's in the universe, absolutely. But they're weaponizing the shit in order to create a globalized, this one world order. So excuse me. So the replacement theory thing is, because they're right now they are letting in at the borders. They're letting in all kinds of immigrants, especially like down in Mexico and shit. They're letting cats into America illegally. They're letting them come over and they're giving them money. They're giving them money to be over here. And excuse me, they don't have to test. They don't have to test for a pay. They don't have to do, especially when the mandates were going on, they weren't mandated to get hokeyed up. Cats that come over here from Ukraine, they're giving them $15,000 per immigrant, y'all. And this is illegal motherfuckers too. They're giving illegal cats money. And then somebody, and then in the press conference the other day with the new sister who's the press secretary, they asked, one of the dudes said, why would you, they said, why would you, no, they said, why don't you give the people, so basically they were talking about the immigrants, and the legal immigrants are coming over here and they're getting money. And they said, well, legal immigrants, oh, who was that? Oh, Rainstorm, thank you. They were saying legal immigrants are backed up to get over here. And they were saying, well, then the question was, well, why don't you give, when the legal immigrants come over here, the people who do it the right way, why don't you give them money when they come over here who do it the right way? And then she said, why would I give people or immigrants who come over here the right way money? And then he said, well, why would you give illegal immigrants who come over here the wrong way money? And then she had really nothing to say. She had nothing to say because you're giving money to illegal immigrants to come across. So this is their theory. I'm just breaking this down. This is the theory of the Caucasian replacement theory, right? So which is not necessarily off kilter. They're kind of trying to do that to move this shit to this one world government. But because they know the Caucasian male has a hold of, this nationalism shit, right? Which is the MAGA cats, what they try to rebrand and say, oh, ultra MAGA, or the MAGA king, and all this and that. All of this is about globalization, meaning socialism. They have to move you into a socialist government first in order to move you into a one world government. You understand? This is the plan. I hope y'all been keeping up, been talking about this shit for years. They got to do away with the Constitution, but the only way they can do away with that shit is, excuse me, who was that? Oh, Q, appreciate you. The only way they can do away with that shit is through corporate synergy. They have to link up corporate-wise because you don't have any power in corporations. Corporations, you don't have any rights through corporations. So when you join corporations and you allow corporations to do things for you, then you give up you give up pretty much most of your rights in order to allow the convenience of using this corporation. Who was that? Willard X, appreciate you. Thank you guys, everybody hitting it. So that's their plan. So again, I'm just explaining his supposed mind state. Ultimately, I think this was a Manchurian candidate. This nigga was conditioned, and they used him at the most opportune time to go and do this. So to try to drum up the fact or this idea that there's about to be this race war, or there's a bunch of cats out there who are drumming up to go against melanated people in a race war and all this and that type of stuff. You got cats who think like that, but always, again, when they telling you to look this way, you look that way. Always. Don't ever fucking look whenever they telling you to look. Don't ever fucking do that, right? So as I've been telling y'all, in order to take away pretty much your constitutional rights, they got to do away with what? Freedom of speech. So we've been talking about Twitter and all this and that, and Elon Musk and all that, and we're just saying Elon, the takeover of Twitter just represents it's just a symbol of freedom of speech versus them trying to control freedom of speech, right? So with the shooting going down, I tell you, when they show you to look this way. They're trying to use the shooting. If you looked at all the channels, especially the what they call the left-wing channels like MSNBC and all that, and I look at everybody. When you look at those channels, they were saying that him online and the rhetoric that he was exposed to online created this mind state that sent him out on this rampage, and that we have to hone in speech in order. We have to put moderation. We have to moderate speech and put these curtails on speech so that we don't put out these type of hate speech so that people don't go out and radicalize and do this type of shit. So that was on, and if you turn to every channel had the same talking point. We need to moderate speech. See, this is what happens when you have total freedom of speech. We can't have, so again, that way you look this way. Y'all don't understand, man. Them coming at your freedom of speech, you are the only people in the world as America who has access to complete freedom of speech. You do. No other country in the world has that. So they know that shit, and that's the very root of freedom, is you being able to talk about it. You being able to say, nigga, I don't like this. Nigga, fuck that. Fuck you. Fuck this. You got to be able to say that. Or how is anybody going to know that you are disgruntled? They can't unless you are allowed to say it, right? So, even in the Bible, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God. Everybody, vibration, y'all. We talked about this vibration. So that's the very first part they're coming for. So when I see this dude go in and he take out a bunch of melanated people, which they call marginalized communities, who are some of the people who are getting hate speech thrown at them on these social platforms, being called nigga. He's being called, can't say it. You know how bitch tube gets if you say the word, but that he's going if you say it with the hard R. It's funny when you say it with when I say nigga, but when you say it with the hard R, the algorithm picks it up. So basically, they're trying to get you. They're trying to get. Trying to push this whole line about, hate speech being pushed on these platforms, so that we need to curtail this hate speech, because niggas is so soft-hearted that if we hear the nigga, where we hear the N-word, that we gonna melt into dust. we so bitch. We so pussy, we so whack, we so punk ass bitch that if anybody says the N-word to us on these platforms, nigga, to us on the platform, that we just gonna cower and fall. And so we need the platforms to be able to protect us from the hate speech of the evil white supremacist. So you see how this shit is going? And they'll get you niggas to back that shit, because a bunch of melanated people, and shout out and my condolences to those people who lost their lives for sure, because they were just a part of of some bullshit ass plan in order to implement a major part of this pandemic. Really, they were used as pawns and shot, and man, it is some fuckery. And as you see, they took that dude in. Nothing took that dude in unharmed. So again, I'll tell you to keep watching. When they say look this way, you got to look that way. And all of this ties into just happened with Twitter. I don't know if y'all have seen the last 2 days, the expose that Project Veritas just did with Twitter. They had some people take some two Twitter executives out on a date from Tinder or whatever, a heterosexual dude and a gay dude, and they both gave it up. They both talked about how Twitter is socialist and communist as fuck. That's what they said. They broke it all down. So the whole thing was Elon was buying Twitter. So this is how this whole game breaks down. Twitter is the main tool that the people who are in control use to push the narrative. You don't understand. This is why Twitter is really, really, really fucking important. At some point in time, they saw, oh, we can co-opt this platform because it's the biggest platform for speech. We can co-opt it, basically mean take it over, and use it as a platform to push the narrative of moderated speech, basically, taking away freedom of speech, which is sort of the model for most countries around the world. They moderate speech of their citizens, except America, right? We don't do that. So that's more of a socialist, communist type of thought. So the dude who worked at Twitter, he goes and he said, yeah, we're communists. He said, it's communist as fuck. He said, I didn't even think left wing until I got there, and they just pushed this shit on you so much. So he said left, 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 left. Now, all this is bullshit. All these sides and all this is fucking bullshit. But the ideas that they push are real. So this this idea of making America into this socialist government and taking away your speech, that's some real shit. They're really pushing that, and they're totally. So this dude is exposing that in the insides of Twitter. Now, like I said, you got who owns Twitter? Who's the major owners of Twitter? BlackRock, Vanguard, and I forgot what bank. It was an investment bank, right? And a Saudi Arabian dude, right? The Saudi Arabian prince. So these are the biggest investors in Twitter. And then you got some other investment firms on the low end. So like I said, most people don't understand every cancel movement that's happened in the world has started on Twitter. Every single cancel movement that you've seen, Me Too, hashtag Me Too, and all the rest of that, and the trans, the against the trend, all of that you've seen, all of those movements started on Twitter first. So it's the vehicle to push shit. And so then this boy Elon, he come in and he said, yo, I'm putting a halt on the deal because y'all niggas say you only got 5% bots. So this is how this works. This is how you get into this. So Twitter is supposed to have real people, right, on the platform talking, pushing the speech. It's supposed to be real people pushing the speech. He finds out that it's a lot of bots on the platform. So he goes, yo, you need to show me how many bots are on the platform before I put 44 billion on it. They say, oh, okay, well, research shows it's only 5% bots, basically saying that it's 95% of Twitter is actual people. He goes, that's some bullshit. He's like, that's absolute bullshit, because somebody like the New York Times has 5 million subscribers, but when they put out a tweet, they only get like 20 to 50 likes out of 5.5 million subscribers. That means most of those subscribers are bots. So he goes, all right, well, I can't buy this because I can't sell this to people. We need to advertise the people. We need to advertise the real people on the platform, not bots. So you need to show me for real how many actual bots is on this shit. Now, did he know most of Twitter was bots before he even offered the deal? Probably so, because him and the founder of Twitter are homies. They talk all the time. So he probably told them and did all this shit to expose it. Now, what they're exposing is if whoever has the most money to implement the most bots pushes the narrative on Twitter. And who do you think that is? That's the motherfucking, these elite motherfuckers who are trying to push you niggas into this one world government, which is why that narrative on there is you can't say shit. Again, against the alphabet soup community, or you can't say you can't say anything that's considered hate speech or anything like that. Anything that's the slightest thing, they'll take your ass off Twitter. So I just wanted y'all to understand that the war on freedom of speech is coming. It's not even coming. This shit is already here. Y'all don't even see it. Y'all don't even see this shit because it's being fought through public platforms like Twitter and shit like that. So please keep your eye open and start learning what your rights are, because if they start taking away and tell you you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't say this, and all of y'all are dependent on these social platforms, y'all niggas can't say shit. Your freedom of speech is gone. So please be aware of that. And then did y'all see yesterday they held the first hearing on UFOs in 52 years. The first government hearing on UFOs in 52 years, since 1970. They haven't wanted to tell your ass nothing about UFOs. Now they call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, because some of them don't fly. Some of them, sometimes they see light things in the sky, or black holes, or, you know, all kind of crazy shit. So, you know, in the air, when the pilots are in the air, or when the Navy's out over the sea. And this is when a lot of these things happen, when this happens over the ships. So homeboy said, so in the hearing, homeboy said that aerial sightings, unidentified aerial phenomenon sites. So they basically tried to, they bought a film clip that nobody had ever seen before. It was a pilot or somebody who was filming out in the sky, and it was something that moved across the screen super fast. Like, it was, I mean, you could barely see it. It looked like a damn near speck of dust. It moved so fast, right? And so they was like, well, this is new phenomenon. This is this is the newest footage we have, right? Supposedly. So you couldn't see anything. Basically, what homeboy was saying was the sightings of UFOs, because we're gonna call them UFOs, we're gonna call them UFOs. The sightings of UFOs are more and more frequent. They're getting them all the time at this point from everybody in the military. And then he said, now they showed a video because they released the footage of the UFO. Y'all seen the gold pyramid floating over the ship in the sea, and they was doing them flips and shit like that. So they basically tried to debunk that one, right? They tried to say that, you know, with further research, we saw it, and we, with certain lighting and looking through certain night vision goggles, we're pretty sure we can say with a certain level of confidence that it was a sort of a trick of the light. You know, the fact that it maintained its pyramid shape. Like, nigga, you trying to tell us we don't know what the fuck we looking at right now? That's all light. We don't see a goddamn gold pyramid flipping around in the sky, moving like this. So the main thing was they didn't want to do this. Go back. There's a dude named Jeremy Corbell. To look him up, go look up Joe Rogan's podcast he did with Bob Lazar. The last one he did with Bob Lazar on the Joe Rogan podcast. The dude with his long beard is Jeremy Corbell. He's the one who's linked in with all these cats in the military who was feeding him these videos. They were feeding him on the low, like, yo, nigga, check this out. Hey, check this out, nigga. Oh my God, nigga, look what I saw last week. So he basically was releasing these videos and forced them. He was also calling up politicians and saying, yo, we need more information on this. So a lot of politicians was like, shit, I can't deny these videos. So they basically went to the Pentagon and said, look, you guys got to start releasing information on UFOs. And they was like, well, shit, fuck. All right. And so y'all saw the last time, it was like about a few months ago, I think maybe last summer they did it. They released the first hearing, the first information on UFOs that came and went. Nobody understood. Nobody's, really peeped it. But they basically came out and told you that we don't know what it is. We know it's not human. It's not us. It's not any of the other governments. It's beyond any of the capabilities that we know as the laws of physics today. So even if we didn't know, even if we don't know for sure that that it's other governments, we know that physics today, what we know, the laws of physics today say that this can't happen. These planes can't do this shit. But what we know with the laws of physics today, right? So that's what came out back in the day. Now, again, yesterday he tried to come out and said, look, we've seen some stuff that is, that are illusions of light. Some we can verify are, certain different objects that appear to be, unidentifiable at certain times of night, blah, 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 right? All this bullshit. But then the nigga said, then he said, but there are some things that we don't necessarily know what they are. But then they don't tell the public because, for a couple of reasons, we don't tell the public because they don't really want to alert the public. It's a matter of national security because they don't know what it is and they don't want to alarm. Basically, he was like saying we don't want to alarm the public. Also, we don't want to let other governments know what our capabilities are and what we know regarding UFOs and that type of phenomenon. So they hope basically they're hiding all the information. So they were trying to basically plead to Congress to say, look, allow us to hold some information back. And Congress is like, nah, nigga, give us what you got. So this was the first hearing in 52 years that these niggas got, that they had, and they have to now keep doing hearings every so often. I think like every month or every other month, they have to keep releasing information on UFOs. So why did this happen? Do you really think this happened because Jeremy Corbell pushed it? Probably a lot of it happened because they were releasing information on him on the low. But they are trying to tell you, we've talked about this before, that at some point in time, they're going to tell you that there's the Galactic Federation exists. But they got to slowly bring y'all niggas into this. They told you before. The Israeli defense, it was the Israeli space defense dude or whatever he was, a couple years ago came out and said, yep, Galactic Federation, everybody knows. They told Trump he wanted to come out and tell everybody, and they said, no, you can't do that because you're gonna alert the whole, you're gonna alarm the whole world. And so he said, all right, shit. And then they said, well, all right, go ahead, you can make Space Force. How about that? That's when he came out with Space Force. So basically, there is you know, a Galactic Federation. They haven't confirmed it, but they did confirm it. You know, the Israeli cast, they did confirm it. So they have to release this to you in a slow fashion. So that's what basically happened yesterday. They hid and lied about a lot of information too, basically saying that a lot of things that the people see, they don't believe. A lot of stuff that the people see is not exactly what they think they see, but they don't say. They didn't say what it was. All they can say is we know that it's not what most people think it is, as far as, you know, UFOs and shit like that. So this is basically the shit. They gave us a lot of bullshit yesterday. Ultimately, they gave us a lot of bullshit because they're getting pushed to give us something, but they don't want to give us anything. So they gave us a lot of bullcrap yesterday. But they also, in doing that, they also basically said that there are things that they don't know what it is. They just know it's not human and beyond the bounds of law. Excuse me, beyond the bounds of the laws of physics that we know today. So basically, yeah, it's some extraterrestrials out here. But we can't tell y'all that because it's a, you know, it's a security risk if we start telling y'all what we actually know. So just watch out for that shit, y'all. Then real quick, did y'all see that while this is all going on, the other thing that they're trying to implement to destabilize society, this is how they get at you. You know that the talked about these that TikTok was that TikTok platform called Libs of TikTok. How basically they got suspended because they basically take LGBT, you know, or, you know, the alphabet community videos and they just post them. They don't do anything else. They just take their own videos that they put on TikTok and just repost them for everybody to see. And I told y'all there was one about this lady saying kids should start masturbating at 5 and 6. This was a teacher. She was saying that. And how another teacher was saying how you know, they were explaining, or they gave their students pronoun pens, basically saying, what pronoun do you want to be called by? And they gave them that pen, right, in the class, pronoun pens. And basically pushing these identities on children before children, you know, while children are literally, their minds are a blank canvas when they're young. They're more susceptible to any type of ideals that you push on them, which is why you should start your kids at martial arts when they're young. They'll be off the chain when they about 15. Start them at 4, they'll be a killer at 15. But that's anything though. You start a child at anything when they're young, they absorb it much more and start to embody that shit. And then when they go on, they start to be a lot of that you've exposed them to in, you know, early on. So being exposed to this type of stuff when they're early on, that will play, you know, that they will assimilate into their bodies and they will go on with this stuff. But no kid should be exposed to this type of talk at this age, regardless of what it is, straight sex, but none of that. Their minds aren't ready for this. They should be taught who they are in the universe. You know, science, what, you know, scientifically who they are, what they are is vibrationally in the universe, spiritually what they are, you know, the universe, what the universe is made of. They should be learning all of these things as far as what they are in the universe. But also definitely taught the divine masculine and divine feminine because that's how they got here. But ultimately, this shit shouldn't be taught to children at, you know, at this age in school. But these teachers are going in there and they're pushing this on these kids. So they created something called, hold on, let me find it. It's called I call it the alphabet soup rights for kids in school. Did y'all know about that? So basically kids, what they call trans kids have a constitution or a bill of rights in school. So like if your kid comes and tells the school, the principal or a teacher that they, you know, your young boy tells the teacher that they feel like they, you know, they want to be a, you know, a girl, then the school will start to treat them like that and start to, you know, push that ideal, that, you know, that mentality onto the kid without being responsible for that child at all. They're only watching that kid for what, about 5 or 6 hours, 5 hours a day? Then that kid has to go home to the parent, and the parent has to deal with that new mentality, this mentality that the school has been indoctrinating my child with. So basically they were having a Zoom session, and there was alphabet soup doctor. Basically, he was a surgeon, plastic surgeon, basically, who does like changes, like, you know, does the trans changes. And he basically let it slip out that most of the people who are getting those you know, sex changes and stuff like that are children in school. They're most of the ones who are getting the sex surgeries. He let that slip under the age of 17. And like I said, these schools now with the Bill of Rights, these Bill of Rights that these kids have, they can go to the school and tell them that they want to do this, and the school can start them on hormone therapy without your consent. All this and that type of shit. There was one who said that their kid came home. There was their son, and the son came home, and they said that the teacher told them that they're not a boy or a girl, and they can be whatever they want, and you know they don't need to listen to the parent. Blah blah blah, this and that, right? So the parent goes to school and asks the teacher, said, "Yo, can you not tell my child, not teach this stuff to my child? You don't have, and basically, and it's a funny thing, the word, what they call the parent, they don't call them parents, they call them caregivers. Remember, they're erasing all of the actual shit of which you are in nature. Y'all would understand, they're erasing all of these lines within nature that are supposed to be there, because this is how you get order within the universe. There's chaos and then there is order. So they're trying to erase the order in the universe so that there's nothing but chaos. So they send that child home and say that, you know, tell the child that they can be whatever they want. So the parent goes back and say, "Yo, don't tell my child that." And they said no. When they told the caregiver, he said, "I told the caregiver, when the child is in my class, you know, I'll teach the child, it's my kid. I'll teach my kids what I want in my class." Wait a minute, that ain't your fucking kid. And it ain't your fucking class. You don't pay for that shit. And then I guess the parent was very passive and allowed the teacher just to say this without, you know, doing anything, not even saying, yo, I'll sue you. I'll implement some type of legal action for you, you know, teaching sexuality to my kid. Nothing like that. Just let the teacher say, I'm gonna teach your kid whatever the fuck I want in my class. Now bounce. So this is the mentality that they're trying to have. Y'all better watch this. Y'all better watch your kids and what's going on in these classrooms closely. When these kids get to these classrooms, they are being taught all kind of crazy shit. There's a video of a brother whose grandson came home wearing a dress that the teacher put on him at school. And so was like, yo, don't do that to my kid. Don't teach my kid none of this shit in school. They don't need to know any of this. And the teacher was like, well, if you have a problem, take it up with the principal. Like, no, no, I'm talking to you. You the one that put a dress on my grandson. Why would I be talking to the management or the principals and all that at school when you are the one who did that? So this is what's going on. These are what's going on in the schools. And again, this helps to destabilize society. They have to indoctrinate the kids. When the kids come up, they're under this mentality. What happens when you fully erase the lines of nature? There is no gender. Well, how did everybody get here? All these people who are talking this bullcrap came here through the natural way of the universe, of nature. They had both heterosexual male father or at the very least, they coupled up. The divine feminine and divine masculine had to link up for them people to get here. So they want to erase these things, which they can never truly do, but they can disrupt society like that and allow for a greater mentality or a greater conspiratorial plan for your society to come in and to be implemented. When the citizens of a country is so in disarray, you're fighting over everything. You don't even know who you are. You're fighting over what identity you are. How the hell are you going to know if your country is being changed and taken away from you and your rights are being taken away when all you're talking about, you're literally living in the low chakra. Most of you are living down here in the low chakra. So this is part of the plan, again, to destabilize the country. Now, while all that's going on, again, you saw that they gave 40 billion. They gave 40 billion over to Ukraine. 40 billion of your dollars over to Ukraine because, again, that's a part of the whole goddamn thing. You have to be thinking Ukraine. He said, Biden got on there and said, that's your money. That's your tax dollars. Like, you should be proud that you giving your hard-earned money. Gas is high as fuck over here. Food, inflation, all that shit is high as hell in America. But you should be proud that your tax dollars is going over there. You should be proud. You right there. You. Yep, you. You should be proud. Your money is going over there. Again, that's money laundering like a motherfucker because the dollar is so inflated, guys. You guys don't understand what's going on. The dollar is so goddamn inflated. It would have been crashed a long time ago if they didn't find all of these different major things to put it into, like an endless war called the War on Terror. That keeps on the money flowing, right? Now, when Biden stopped that, because that nigga tripped out or whatever the hell happened, why they stopped that stopped the dollars. That meant the dollar was about to be inflated more and more and more, so they had to find another way to send that, to put that dollar. Boom. So you better start another war. They told, hey, nigga, you better start another war somewhere, nigga. So we smack the shit out of you, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with you stopping at Afghanistan? Putin. Ukraine. Boom. And funny that all of the stuff about baby Biden is coming out now that had the daddy linked with all of that over there. So you see what's going on. The daddy is linked with allegedly, we got allegedly the daddy and baby Biden was linked with corporations that were doing bio research as well as other things in that country. And a lot of those kickbacks was going to baby B and the pops. So they linked with that over there. So now that we fully engaged with them niggas, now all you see is Daddy B sending, hey, nigga, you want some more money, nigga? You want some more? This nigga is frisbeeing money over there. Because again, he's part of that. He has that. He had the business link that Baby B had set up. But also that's money laundering, y'all. That's money laundering at the highest game. At literally the highest game. And if they probably didn't do that, the American dollar would fall at some point in time pretty soon. So y'all don't, just so y'all know. So I hope y'all, you know, and as far as the cryptocurrency, you see they dropped, they took down, if y'all had your money in cryptocurrency, man, that's why it's a very tricky thing. This cryptocurrency shit is a tricky, is a tricky goddamn thing. It's, they can't hack it, but they can manipulate the markets, which is, you know what I mean? So, you know, the more and more, you know, technology they come out with, they can manipulate the markets. And you saw like $200 billion lost or just bounced. But also, if you had your money on Coinbase said, if you had your money with us, if we go bankrupt, if our company, we lose the company, you lose your money. Just so, oh man, I hope y'all heard that. If you had any money on Coinbase, or if you got any of your money on any of these exchanges, these cryptocurrency exchanges, you need to take it off and put it in an external wallet, because if any of these companies go belly up, you lose your crypto. That includes Robinhood, all of these motherfucking places. None of those places are really, you really own the crypto. Just y'all. And the thing is, crypto is still not a bad thing. It's a long-term, more of a long-term investment. It'll go back up. If you had your money in crypto, it went down, but it'll go back up. Because what just happened, like some country just, I forgot what country, just allowed $400 million in crypto. Just about $400 million in crypto. I forgot what country that is. So when you see countries investing that type of money in cryptocurrency, then you know it ain't going nowhere. 400 million. So, but they will do this with it for people who are investing and who don't know shit. They'll get your money in, and for the quick investor, the people who get in real quick to try to make money, they'll get your money. But you know, if you understand investing, you're a long-term investor, you know, you're going long, just leave your money in there. Crypto eventually will be going up, just like it always has. It started off at what, $1,000 a coin. Now the lowest it hits now is what, 29,000. It was at 19,000 in 2017. It hasn't fallen back. It hasn't fallen below that since then. So you understand, this is always going to keep rising. So even if you had bought crypto in 2017, when it hit 19,000, it went down to 6. It crashed to like 7 or something like that. Then it went all the way back up to, as you see where it is now, but it hasn't gone back down to 19 since then. So stocks it'll keep going up, but you got to be diligent and understand this is the stock market, y'all. That shit is gambling ultimately. But if you have crypto and you want to keep your money, put it on an external wallet. You got to keep your shit on an external wallet. And real quick, did y'all see the doctor, the brother who created the free energy? Did y'all see that brother? They tried to poison him. What's his name? Michael Chikumbutsu. If y'all haven't seen that brother, go look that brother up. That's the brother who created a TV free energy, radio frequency. He can create energy through radio frequency. That's absolutely insane. Can fly a plane, motorcycle, everything. So basically, they tried to kill this dude. They tried to poison him. They wanted to buy his technology. He wouldn't sell. Then all of a sudden, now he laid up sick. So shout out to that brother. And shout out, put the vibrations out there for the universe to protect that brother, because his technology can change the world. Free energy from radio frequency, y'all. This brother is ill. If y'all haven't seen it, put it in YouTube and go watch the TV that's not plugged into the wall. Play I forgot, it was Bad Boys or whatever the movie it was. But they tried to get to that brother and they tried to poison him. I just wanted y'all to be aware, because this brother is super important to the future, especially our future. He is super, 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 super goddamn important, and we need to put out the good vibrations for the universe to protect this brother, because we can't let him take out another one who came to change the earth, who came to change the world. So please put your vibrations out for Michael Chicken Bootsu. Shout out to that brother. And last thing, real quick, I want to talk about Doctor Strange. If y'all seen Doctor Strange, some spoilers about to come. If you haven't seen it, sorry, I'm about to get with some spoilers. Y'all haven't seen it, I'm about to talk about it in a second. Give you 5, 4, 3, you click off. 2, 1. All right, here we go. Doctor Strange. Goddamn, they fucked my shit up. Doctor Strange and Spider-Man are my favorite comic book characters, right? Now, Spidey, because he a loner. Spidey is just pretty much a loner, a jokester loner. That's me, pretty much. But Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange's power came from higher consciousness. You understand? He draws powers from different dimensions, right? But using higher consciousness, meaning he had to study and work. What was that? I am amazed. Oh, appreciate you. So Doctor Strange had to study and work in order to do this, right? Now, his name alone, Doctor Strange. What does strange mean? Strange means beyond bounds. That's the etymology of strange. It means to be beyond bounds. So how Doctor Strange worked was, as he became in that order, in the sorcerer's order or whatever, he didn't do everything like all the other people did. He did it a little differently. Hence his name, Doctor Strange. He couldn't be put into a box, right? He was creative with the knowledge. But it's the knowledge. If you go watch the first Doctor Strange movie, you got to watch that. They were breaking all the science was breaking it off in that damn movie. It was they were dropping it. And if you see the energy when he creates, when he does his magic, his magic are these different symbols, right? Sacred geometry. That's why. Talking about this book right here. As you can see, like right here, just these symbols right here. His magic will look like these symbols. Boom, right? So as we talked about before, form, vibration, everything that you see that's in matter and form is from a frequency or vibration. So what you're literally seeing when he's doing this, you're seeing literally vibrations, different frequencies and vibrations that he's fighting with. That's the thing. So now his power is order. Then you get Scarlet Witch, whose power comes from chaos, right? This is what they talk about in the comic book. Scarlet Witch power, chaos. Doctor Strange, order. Now, they would actually balance each other out. That's really what they were supposed to do. Chaos and order are literally two ends of the same pole, right? They're supposed to balance each other out. Then you also, the divine feminine and divine masculine. That's what they're supposed to be. Chaos, order, emotion, logic, you keep on going with all the rest of them, right? But what they've done, what they're doing is, we talked about this on the show Monday, that they're really trying to take down the masculine energy in America, right? They're really trying to demasculate the male and escalate or pump up the feminine energy, which is fine. The divine feminine is great. They off the chain. I'm a complete supporter of the divine feminine. Matter of fact, I think that's the greatest thing the universe ever made. Is women. However, they're equal. Divine masculine, divine feminine are equal energies, but they're trying to push. This goes along with what's been going on in society. What they call the rise of the feminine energy. Like even in Star Wars, they say the Force is feminine, that's not true. The manifestation, physical manifestation, is feminine. The force that goes that wields, or that the feminine wields, is masculine. This is where you get those two. That's why you need to watch the Wheel of Time. So, but going back to Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. So chaos and order, right? So, but in the damn movie, they are trying to act like, and she has no training whatsoever. She just came into her powers, had no type of training whatsoever, but became the most powerful motherfucker in the whole goddamn universe. And they don't even explain why, but supposedly because she read this book called the Darkhold, the Dark Book, and it gave her and it elevated her powers to where she's like the greatest, the most powerful motherfucker in all universes. Not even our universe, but in the multiverse, she's the most powerful motherfucker. Which wouldn't actually be if you got chaos. You would have ordered. Doctor Strange would be her balance. He would be able to balance that out. But in the demasculation of the man in this movie, it's all her. I'm sorry, y'all. If y'all go to, it's all the Scarlet Witch movie. If y'all seen WandaVision, this movie is just a part 2 to WandaVision, which is supposed to be a part 2 to Doctor Strange, but Doctor Strange ain't even the hero in his own goddamn movie. It's it's basically it's a bunch of women kicking the shit out of men in this whole damn movie. Again, the demasculation of the man, but also trying to basically say that emotion, which is what Scarlet Witch was working off of because she had lost her kids, and in WandaVision, she had lost vision, and she had created a whole world and then created kids in this world that weren't real. So at the end of the day, she lost the kids. She lost the kids and vision, right? And so she flipped out a little bit. And so in the movie now, she flipping out. She wants her kids back, right? So now she has to try to find another universe that has her kids for real, because the kids in this universe were fake. So she's looking for this. She's looking for somebody to, a way to hop around the multiverse so she can find an actual real version of her kids that she can take and mother. Now, we got all this toxic masculinity talk and all this and that type of shit, but this this ain't toxic femininity, not at all. You trying to go and destroy universes or trying to hunt down. So basically how they were trying to do that was with this girl, America something. I forgot her last name in the movie, but she can open multiverses. That's her power. And she's the only one in all the multiverses who can do that. So Scarlet Witch was trying to take her and kill her and steal her power. So you trying to do this because you trying to bring back kids that never existed. These kids weren't real. But your ass is trying to kill a real person in the universe to try to steal her power. So that you can find some kids that never existed, right? So this is not toxic femininity, not at all, right? They don't, no, everybody's, yeah, go ahead. We understand Scarlet Witch. Now I want y'all to even understand what the symbolism of the Scarlet Witch actually is. The Scarlet Witch, do y'all know? This is really fucked up symbolism. The Scarlet Witch represents a woman on her period. Did y'all know that? Scarlet Witch represents a woman on her period. Just so I know, these comic book motherfuckers ain't super smart motherfuckers, man. They ain't like super, super great motherfuckers, unless you like Jack Kirby or somebody like that who was an actual historian. But most of these cats, they don't think on them super levels, and they use regular symbolism, or just mediocre symbolism. And Scarlet Witch is supposed to be a woman on her period. Scarlet the Red, when any male who's lived with a woman, when the time comes, that energy comes, it can be some shit. Also, she represents Venus. She represents Venus in her emotional state. Venus, the energy of Venus lashing out in her emotional state. But Scarlet Witch represents a woman on her period, which is, I think that's fucked up, because all women ain't like that when they get their time of month. But this is how the male portrayed this in the comic book. So this is coming from a male perspective, obviously, right? So this is how the male portrayed the Scarlet Witch in the comic book, saying that women go crazy and try to tear up the whole goddamn world when y'all get on y'all time. Some of y'all do though. Sorry, appreciate whoever that was. Appreciate you, thank you. But some of y'all do. So going back to the Scarlet Witch versus Doctor Strange, right? So again, these two things would cancel each other out. They would not cancel each other out, but balance each other out. But again, in the movie, they got her just destroying, taking over everything, killing up every fucking body, and then, oops, I'm sorry. Oops, my bad. And, also like for Doctor Strange, there's a scene in the movie where so in the multiverse, you can have multiple yous. If you've seen Loki in the variants. There's multiple variants of you in different universes, right? You know, you could be in one universe you was a football star. One universe you could have been you were an actor or whatever it was, right? So Doctor Strange, he links up with his he meets up kind of with his other Doctor Stranges in the universe, and one is an evil Doctor Strange. And so he fights this Doctor Strange in this movie, right? Now, to me, to everybody else, they think that's the whack part. I think that's the dopest part. I think that's the dopest part of the movie because they were fighting with music. If you saw, they were fighting and he came across a music book or some shit like that, and they threw the notes and they started fighting with notes, with magic. So if you understood what they were breaking off, magic truly is vibration and frequency. What you call magic is nothing but a manifestation of vibration and frequency, period. And they were showing that in that scene. That true sorcery has nothing to do with vibration and frequency. Just like when he creates all these different sacred geometry symbols, you can see those same symbols when you in cymatics. We've shown that in the video cymatics. When you create a vibration, you take a vibration and put some sand on a plate. In cymatics, you put sand on a plate, send vibration through the plate. The higher the vibration, the sand starts to take these sacred geometry shapes. And the higher the vibration, the more complicated the shape. So when you see these super complicated, when he's doing all this and you see a circle within two pyramids and two squares within a circle, within a swirl, those are super high frequencies that those things are supposed to be, that this nigga is doing. That is high vibrational energy that he's supposed to be manifesting with his hands. So, but again, in the movie, he ain't the star of his own goddamn movie. He had to take a back seat because he had to do some female empowerment. And again, they're trying to elevate the woman by depowering or lowering the man. And you can't do that. You cannot, it's not going to work. Divine masculine is not going anywhere. However, with them doing a lot of this stuff, as well as with a lot of your plastics, a lot of us consuming things out of plastics, the estrogen level has dropped like 50% in the last 20 years for males. So y'all better watch out, man. That's why you need to start taking that's why they got these testosterone boosters and all that type of stuff. Because they know that your testosterone levels are lowering for males. So just so you know, the reason plastics, the main chemical they use in plastic mimics estrogen. So you shouldn't be really drinking out of a lot of plastics. Because it mimics estrogen. So, but that gets in your body and, that starts to, your body starts to mimic that stuff. So, but this is the agenda that they have to do because, again, a passive masculine population in a society allows you to move the society, right? Not that women aren't fighters and gangsters, but usually most revolutions are started by the men, physically anyway. You got women on the back, pushing their energy and, manipulating shit in the background. But usually the physical part of it, the fighting back part of that shit is usually initiated by the men. Because, again, men have 200 times more testosterone than a woman at the low end and 2,000 times more at the high end. So if I can demasculate the male, then when I try to move society into a new regime, then they won't fight back. And that's the problem. That's the problem they have with the right wing side of the shit. Because the right wing, if y'all look at what right wing and left wing is, that's also masculine and feminine. That's divine masculine and divine feminine. The left side of your body is feminine. In case y'all know, it's the receptive side. It's the side you pull energy into. In case y'all didn't know that. So if y'all ain't super powered, just be careful with who you let on your left side. You draw energy in from your left side. You release energy out of your right side. The right side is the masculine side. So as it plays out in society, the same goddamn way. The left or the right, the right wing are the aggressive. They're overtly aggressive. They'll let you know. Fuck you. This is about America. Eat a dick. Woo woo. They'll let you know right off the bat. The left side is passive aggressive. They don't have many motherfuckers who will do that at all. They'll sit back and use places like Twitter in order to control things and manipulate shit on the back end. That's called passive aggressive. Well, I'll just take control of the platform, and then you can't say anything to hurt me. And then that's how I'll fight back. I won't fight back with your idea. I won't fight your ideas. I won't challenge your ideas. I'll just challenge your ability to even say anything, so that I don't have to be hurt by your speech. So this is the game that's being played out on massive scale and on a lower scale, left and right, masculine and feminine. All of these things you are seeing are being played out, but they're really trying to take down the masculine population. Again, they call it the new Marvel Phase 4 is called the MCU. Some dude named it the MCU. Punch that in YouTube, and this dude's video will come up. It's called his page is Nerdrotic. And look at he has a couple of videos talking about the MCU and how there's a conscious effort to move the feminine energy to the top in Marvel, which is crazy because most of the people who buy comics and pay for comics are men, are men, right? They're the ones who pay for shit as far as, the comics, because we the ones who want to go out and rip shit up and we're the ones who size other men up when we walk in the room. That's a masculine type of thing. To want to go up and beat up shit and destroy shit and rip shit up and that's a masculine type of thing. But they want more money from the women's side because they see them as potential buyers of comics, which they're really not. You may get some women, but that's not necessarily the true nature of women. They don't want to be out ripping up shit and fighting shit and doing all. Some women might, but the majority of women don't necessarily want to do that shit. So, but what they're doing is, again, trying to force this onto society because you have to watch it. So what they're doing, they're turning Thor into a woman. They're turning the Hulk into a woman. They're turning Iron Man into a woman. They're turning Black Panther into a woman. Who else? I'm missing somebody. Somebody of the new superhero. So basically, you see the Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch is the most powerful person in the whole goddamn universe, which makes no sense because you would have to have some type of weakness. If you're fully this way, then the opposite of you would be your weakness. But they don't even create that in the universe. She's just all powerful and can't nobody kill her or nothing. And what is that? Oh, the scene from what was it? Endgame, when Spider-Man had the gauntlet and Captain Marvel. That's the other thing, because they're coming out with 3 different Captain Marvels, right? But Marvel in the comic books was a man. And then they flipped Marvel into being a woman. So then you had that scene in Endgame where all the women said they said we got it, and you had all the women, hey, we're gonna bum. You saw the scene, hey, the women scene. So again, this is nothing wrong with powerful women. Women are super powerful. Absolutely, they are the universe. However, when you force it without putting good story behind it and just have an agenda, it doesn't work. And also, while you're trying to demasculate and take and lower the male, the masculine, the divine masculine, it's just not going to work. So this is the agenda. And you guys have to be conscious about this. You have to be pro the other thing. Because if you just allow them, because they have their agenda, they're going to keep on mashing. They're not going to stop this shit. So if you are for the balance of the divine masculine and divine feminine, you have to put that out there, be proactive about it, and don't just sit back and be like, and let all this stuff go on around you. Because even if you're not seeing it, the children are. They pick this stuff up. And then in the next 20, 30 years, boom. The society is what they planned it to be. So, Doctor Strange, they messed my damn movie up by making Doctor Strange a bitch in his own goddamn movie. Goddamn. Made him a straight bitch. He wasn't doing nothing but running the whole goddamn movie. From Wanda. Literally, oh shit, Wanda. Wanda. Like, he was his name. Absolute bullshit. But again, also I want to talk about how the energies, so just so y'all know how they play out the 2 energies, red energy versus purple energy. Red energy, they don't necessarily say it's good, but it's not bad. Right? It's Wanda's energy is red. It's chaos, not necessarily bad, it's just chaos. Purple energy is evil. And these are the ends of the light spectrum, right? The visible light spectrum. Infrared versus ultraviolet. This is what you're seeing as far as magic. What they'll tell you, what they'll act like is the red is more powerful, or it's the good, and the purple, the ultraviolet, is evil. But anybody who knows science knows that ultraviolet or the infrared is a very slow vibration, very slow, moves very slow, while ultraviolet moves like this, super fast. I mean, crazy fast, which is why, you melanated people may have a little more kick in your step when you do things physically, because the reason you are the way the color you are is because you are reflecting ultraviolet light. Your body is reflecting ultraviolet light. So you got a little bit, and it's also absorbing it as well. So it absorbs some of it, but also reflects a lot of it. And so you have that vibration moving like this in your body, right? So, but they know that, and this is why even in Moon Knight, he wasn't even the damn hero in his own show. They were trying to break off some bullshit Egyptian, which they weren't really even saying anything. But Moon Knight was only in the goddamn show. Somebody timed it. Moon Knight was in all of Moon Knight for about 5 minutes collectively. Like 5 full minutes. If you put all the time together, Moon Knight was in that shit for about 5.5 minutes collectively. Then they took another male character called the Red Scarab. He's a brother. He's an African brother in the comic book. He's an African brother called the Red Scarab, Egyptian hero. Brother though, dark skin, like melanated. They turned it into another. They gave her into a woman. Turned a gender swap. Turned the melanated Red Scarab into this Arab woman, this Arab looking woman. She became the Red Scarab. So again, and then somebody says, "Are you a hero? Are you an Egyptian hero?" And she goes, "I am." So again, you see what's coming, y'all. And Kevin Feige even said that the next phase of Marvel will be more women than men. Now, again, got no problem with women being superheroes. You guys are absolutely every bit as powerful as any man for sure. However, there needs to be the balance. So, shout out to my real Doctor Strange comic book. The real off the chain. Y'all don't know about the real Doctor Strange. Go look up the real Doctor Strange. He's off the chain. His powers are about consciousness, higher consciousness. You ain't gonna get better than that. You ain't gonna get no higher power than that. That's where the magic comes from. Elevated consciousness. God damn it. And they trying to act like the feminine chaos, emotional, chaotic energy is all that much greater than higher consciousness. And that's not the thing. Even in the damn movie, sorry y'all, here comes a spoiler. They showed Fantastic Four. They showed the Illuminati had all these. They had Professor Xavier, Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four, Black Bolt. Y'all don't know who Black Bolt is. He's an Inhuman. If he speaks, he can destroy anything just by sneezing. If this nigga sneeze, this nigga will destroy a goddamn city. But and also he's seen Black Bolt. He had this. If you've seen the movie, Black Bolt had a tuning fork on his motherfucking helmet, like this. Actually, one like this. He had a tuning fork like this on his helmet. Because vibration and frequency is everything, people. They trying to show you. So in there, they tried to show you that twice. But the very first, soon as Scarlet Witch showed up, she took out the goddamn men right off the bat. 2 niggas, they didn't even get to do anything. The 2 of the most powerful niggas in the history of comics. Reed Richards is supposed to be the smartest motherfucker in the history of comics. And these niggas get taken out. Bow. Immediately. She basically was like, she snapped her finger and this motherfucker went. So, again, the demasculation of the male is a real thing. Ladies, if you are you like the masculine energy in your men, then you have to ride for it. Don't just sit back and watch it happen. Ride for that. For that masculine energy in your man. And men, ride for the ladies. This is supposed to be like this. It ain't supposed to be you over here and you over here. We supposed to be linked up. and doing that together. And that's what in that TV show, The Wheel of Time, that's what they broke off. The male order, Aes Sedai, with the sorcerers, and the female order, they were collectively called the Aes Sedai. In the show, they'll show you that the women are called Aes Sedai, which is the name of the sorceress order. But in the past, it was the male and female together working equally that wielded the power that we call the one power. So y'all better get on this shit. You ain't gonna get rid of the divine masculine and divine feminine. It ain't happening. We'll go through some rough times, but you ain't never getting rid of it. Sorry about that. And everybody, like I said, they coming for your rights. And y'all already know. You already know. You got to learn your rights in order to be able to keep them, to stop them from taking them. So come on, y'all. Let's get on this, please. Please, please, please. Police stop law package, constitutional rights card. This is what you need to know when they pull you over. All your rights that the police officers need to know. Excuse me. And the test lets them know what'll happen if they violate those constitutional rights, meaning basically you'll file a lien on their bond. It says that on the back. If they violate your constitutional rights, you will place a lien on their bond. Right here, also qualified immunity card. Tell them they lose that qualified immunity, which is the shield that they get for when they violate your rights unknowingly. So when you say, hey, excuse me, who was that? Leah P, thank you. So when you say, hey, you're in danger of violating my rights, officer, and you get it on camera, and they do it anyway, they lose that qualified immunity, especially if you get them on camera, you giving them this. They will lose that qualified immunity. Also, where's the card? That comes with this right here. This is the qualified immunity notice. This has the laws, the Supreme Court laws or cases that lets them know that they lose that qualified immunity. And the very first one up top is Malley versus Briggs. You can look this up for yourself. Malley versus Briggs, and it states a police officer or public official loses their qualified immunity when they knowingly violate the law or are plainly incompetent. Either or. So if you get them incompetent on camera, being incompetent, or knowingly violating your rights, meaning after you told them they're in danger of violating your rights and they still do it, boom, they lose that qualified immunity right there. Hands down. Don't pass go. But then, so that you can be prepared for when you get pulled over, you sit back and you study this, turn off the goddamn TV, turn off Disney Plus, turn off Netflix for about a good hour a day, half an hour a day, go through this so that you are prepared when they pull you over and you know what to say. I've been getting hit back constantly with people who haven't even bought the police stop law package. They just know what I say on the videos. And they said, man, I used that the other day, man, and the police let me go. I've been getting hit up with that a lot. When you know your rights, the police have to adhere to that. When you get pulled over and you say, do you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I may have am in the midst of or about to commit a crime? If they can't tell you, if they can't articulate, meaning speak, and tell you what you're doing that leads them to believe you're about to commit a crime, you don't got to say shit to them. Period. There's a brother that was just in our police stop law class. We had our 100th police stop law class last week, and we did our famous hits, our favorite hits. And there's one brother. There's on there. If you're on YouTube, punch in police stop Schumacher. I think it's called police stop and shoemaker or Schumacher. If you punch that up, and there's a brother he's in New Orleans. He was like, you heard me? You heard me? You hear me? I mean, that's how he talk. If you heard this brother talk, you would think this brother didn't know anything, but he is super versed in the law. And he told him, he said, you see the gold teeth and you hear me talk like this and you think you're going to come and get me. He said, nah, partner, I ain't the one. He told the police, he said, you see the gold teeth and you hear me talk like this and you think you're going to come get me? Nah, partner, I ain't the one. I love it. He said, nah, player. And he killed those police officers while talking like he regularly talks. Because you don't have to be a studious, super articulate dude to know the law. It helps. But all you need to do is just know the law. So right here, Know Your Rights Manual. This teaches you what you need to know. at the excuse me, with Terry stops and traffic stops. Because when a police officer pulls you over, you know they got to tell you why they pulled you over before you give over your license and registration. Did y'all know that? Excuse me. Hello, how you doing today, sir? Can I get your license and registration? You supposed to say, officer, why'd you pull me over, officer? While having your camera. Why'd you pull me over, officer? If they don't tell you why they pulled you over, it's an unlawful stop. They have to tell you. So this is how you know that type of stuff right here. Then if that's too big for you to sit down, take these with you when you go to work. Right here, take these with you when you go to work, you go to school, chill with your kids, at the park, whatever it is. 30 minutes a day, volume 1, volume 2. Boom, right here. This is the most important stuff that you should know at a police stop. The biggest things that they charge you with, the simple cases that they hit you with, the most simple charges that they hit you with. So right here. And then y'all already know, let's go get them bonds like them Caucasian people have been doing. They've been smashing out for the last 10 months now, putting bond liens on these public officials because they have to have police insurance or public official insurance in case they violate your rights. So right here is the public official bonds book. Just let you know where those laws are to tell you to go find those bonds right here. Public official bonds book right here in the back. Tell you everything you need to know. Oh, where it is. There it is. So these are the laws, if you can see right there. These are the laws in all the different states to tell you where to go find the bonds. All right. And then if you, oops, here it is. Right here. So right now we got the special going. If you want this is the vaccine religious exemption card for when they try to implement these lockdowns again, because if you don't know, they're doing it on the low. They're trying to implement legislation to bring back lockdowns for when the winter comes about. So they know they letting you do what you do in the summertime. But when the winter comes back in, they're already talking about, oh, we haven't seen the last of it yet. Well, you know, we may see a more deadly variant, but all this and that. Again, that means they're trying to come. So make sure you get your vaccine religious exemption card so that you can claim your religious exemption, especially with these businesses that try to get you to force to get hokeyed up, or businesses that try to make you say that you're hokeyed up to eat there right here. So I'm going to throw this in the Please Stop Law package. If you order the Great Book of Melanin Research, this is the book, this is the melanin, excuse me, the research they've been doing on your melanin for the past 17 years now. As I told y'all, your melanin is worth $511 on the stock market. $511 a gram. $14,000 an ounce. You are the most expensive commodity in the world, if y'all didn't know. There is nothing else in the world that is worth $14,000 an ounce other than your melanin. So learn why the hell is worth $14,000 an ounce. It's because you are superheroes, you are Black Panthers, and walking all around this damn thing with vibranium all around your body. Learn how to use it. Learn how to make it healthy. You got to make your melanin healthy in order to be able to use it. This breaks it down right here. So if you order Great Book of Melanin Research, the hard copy, I will give you the whole thing for free. You get the whole Police Stop Law package for free. And I will throw in this. Usually I don't give it in the package. You got to get it at Know Your Rights Foundation. But if y'all give me, I'm going to do this for the next, what's today? Today is Wednesday. So from this Wednesday till next Wednesday, I will put this in the package for this Wednesday until next Wednesday. After next Wednesday, I will not do so. Ask somebody. They hit me the day after when I mailed some packages out. I looked at who mailed during the sale, and I had all of them. I could have put it in there, but I did not, because you have to hit me up. You have to hit me up during the time I tell you to hit me up. So from this Wednesday to next Wednesday, you order. I will put this in the package. If not, go to knowyourrightsfoundation.org and hit it up. And also, if you want to volunteer, man, we got over 100 volunteers going on right now. We are mashing out, y'all. People are learning the law. They're hitting this Johnny Cochran thing. This 1 million Johnny Cochran movement. We mashing out. So once you go over there and join the movement, learn the law so that you can start teaching this to the community and setting up foundations for when they really try to come down and really put the mash down. This is the only way for you to really fight back is to learn the rights or the rules to the game. So knowyourrightsfoundation.org, sign up for the volunteer. You'll get hit back with an email telling you to go where to go to fill out a questionnaire, and then we'll set up an interview and everything from there, and put you in basically law school. That's what we're basically at. We basically have a community law school. We don't want anything from you but your commitment to learn the law. We ain't asking for donations, although we do need them, and we'll accept them if you give them. However, we're coming to give you some. All right, so appreciate you guys. Mouth is dry and I'm hungry, and I got to go pick up my car. So I'll holler at y'all in a minute. All right, thank y'all. Love y'all. Peace.